Hi, today I'm reviewing the Murad Multivitamin Infusion Oil. And really quick, I just want to say I purchased all these products with my own money, so you know you can trust my opinion is what I honestly believe. And if you want to help support the channel, click on the Amazon link below before you make your purchase. Murad recently released multivitamin infusion oil, and this is the full size, which is 1 ounce, and it sells for $72. And actually, if you purchase it at Ulta, they'll give you several free little bottles. I think I got 2 of these and 2 different gifts with purchase, so something to keep in mind if you're interested in this. I've been reading the reviews online, and so far there's not a ton of them, but most of the people so far really liked it, said it absorbs instantly. And I'm just going to give you a little swatch of it. But it actually is a very light oil, and it does absorb pretty quickly and definitely leaves the skin feeling nice and hydrated. Let's see. Yeah, definitely absorbs quickly if you watch that, how quickly it absorbs. Definitely if you're going to use this, it's probably better to use it at bedtime, or if you're using it in the daytime. If you don't use a lot of other moisturizers, you'll probably be okay. I would apply this before anything else, but I have super dry skin, so I need to apply lots of layers. And this, when I apply this in the daytime with my other moisturizers, sometimes it causes some pilling, so I've just been typically using it at night. And actually the marketing of it is pretty interesting. They call it a multivitamin infusion oil because they say it has vitamins, let's see, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and F, which is kind of an interesting way to go. So I was checking out some of the ingredients in it, and for vitamin A, they have retinol purporn in it. I don't know exactly how I'm saying it, but I mispronounce everything. But it's basically a kind of a lesser irritating form of retinol or vitamin A. There's some studies showing that it can be very helpful without causing a lot of the dryness, but you know, the regular form, retinol palmate, is typically the gold star. So, but it definitely does contain vitamin A. For vitamin B, it's got the coconut oil in it. So definitely if you have more acne-prone skin, I would probably recommend avoiding against this, just because a lot of the first ingredients are all the coconut oil, and that definitely can cause some acne, so you might want to be a little bit careful with it. For vitamin C, it's got tetrahexyl decaloxysorbate, so it's got vitamin C in it, which is definitely good for brightening the skin, so it's definitely got some of that in there. Vitamin D was more interesting research. Vitamin D for skin, there isn't a ton of research saying that it's actually very good for your skin and that it actually has any benefits. Vitamin C helps your skin by taking the supplements, especially if you wear a lot of sunblock or sunscreen, you're not going to get the vitamin D. And I live in Minnesota, so 7 months out of the year we don't see the sun hardly at all, so we don't get a lot of vitamin D. And it's better actually to wear SPF and take vitamin D supplements, vitamins. In terms of vitamin D on the skin, I just was looking through the ingredient list. I didn't see anything that struck out to me as vitamin D. The only thing that I can think of that they're counting as vitamin D would be the Moringa Olifera Seed Oil. Vitamin D is kind of in some plants, or they've also got cannabis seed oil, which hemp oil. So perhaps they're considering that vitamin D. But on either accord, there's not a ton of research showing that that moringa is beneficial to the skin at all. And actually, if vitamin D in general helps the skin, it's definitely not going to be a bad thing. But in terms of benefits, there just isn't a ton of research out there showing that it's great for skin, but there's nothing showing that it's bad for skin. So that's kind of what I'm assuming from that. It's got vitamin E, tocepheral acetate. I think I pronounced that one right. So definitely has that in here. And then vitamin F, which is more of like fatty acids. It's got linoleic acid and linoleic acid. I probably mispronounced those. So it's got all those vitamins in there. The vitamin D is kind of iffy, but the rest of them are all pretty proven ingredients for your skin. So kind of interesting. And then at the very end of the list, of course, then they've got fragrance, citra, linalool, limonene. So they couldn't help themselves but put those in there. But definitely if you are prone to breakouts, it's also got corn oil in there, rice bran, and then the coconut's in there. So definitely be very careful with it. It's got some kind of possible iffy ingredients there. But otherwise, it definitely absorbs nice. I would definitely recommend using this at bedtime if you're going to use it. Thankfully, the fragrant ingredients are at the very end of the list, although there is 4 of them, so it'd be better without them. But I can still smell it a little bit, but it definitely fades away pretty quickly. But still, those ingredients are known to irritate skin, so you're definitely better off looking for something without those. And one thing that I recently picked up, which is the Nyx Oil Primer. This actually has quite a few similar ingredients in this, but it doesn't have the fragrance in it. And it's also, I think, like $15 instead of the $72. And it doesn't have some of the irritating ingredients in there. So if you're thinking about purchasing this and you haven't tried this, this is definitely something I would recommend checking out first and seeing if it works for you, because it's got some of the good oils in there, and then it doesn't have any of the fragrance. So it's got sweet almond oil, safflower oil, and then jojoba oil. So it's got some good oils in there without a lot of the fragrance. And then just to note, it's a clear bottle, so you want to keep it in your cabinet, but definitely far less of a price than the Murad product. Although if you have the money and don't mind spending it, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's interesting, some of the ingredients that they've chosen to include. Salicylic acid is in here as well, so that's good for some exfoliation. So they've got some good proven ingredients, and then they've got the fragrance, and then that Moringa Olifera Seed Oil. There really isn't a ton of research out there showing that applying that topically has a lot of benefits for your skin. So, and it's up there on the list. It's the third or fourth one down. So I kind of found that interesting, why they have chosen to include that in higher amounts than some of the proven ingredients that they could have chosen to put at a higher amount. So I found that to be a little interesting, but definitely feels nice on the skin. Wish they hadn't chosen to include the fragrance. I do like the packaging though, the bottle, and then it's an opaque bottle. So, you know, if you set this on your countertop, you're not going to have any issues with it, you know, degrading from light or air. So that's definitely some good things. But anyway, overall, I'm not going to give it any thumbs up, but I'm not going to give it any thumbs down. There's good and bad with it, like a lot of things. But definitely if you're in the market for a good face oil, this one, and you don't have to just use it as a primer. Just because it says it's a priming oil, it doesn't mean you have to use it that way. You can just use it like you would any other oil in your skincare. Smashbox has a primer oil as well, and that one's great. Doesn't include the fragrance, so also something to consider as an alternative to this. So anyway, I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to check this out yet or not, and if so, what your thoughts are, or any other Murad products. It's interesting. It's founded by a Dr. Murad, and I would think he would know enough to not include some of those fragrant ingredients, but Murad is kind of, you know, they're hit or miss. A lot of their products are really good and don't include a lot of fragrance, if any, and a lot of them are packaged correctly, and then some of them are just so far off the mark that this one's kind of right in the middle. But they're kind of an interesting line in the fact that they're founded by a doctor, so you'd think he would know a lot about this. And a lot of their creams and stuff are packaged in airtight containers, so he knows about that. But then to include 4 fragrant ingredients at the very end of the list, which aren't necessary. I don't think they're covering up any scent from anything else in there. So I don't know why they've chosen to include those. And then the other thing with fragrance is it's a trade secret, so they don't even have to disclose what's in there. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of it in general, because there can be so many different allergens in it. And since they don't have to disclose anything, I think fragrance components can be one, 2, 3, or all of 140 different separate ingredients, but none of those companies ever have to disclose what it is. So definitely, I guess the scent of something is kind of a trademark, but that's not really what you're looking for in skincare. You're looking for the good beneficial ingredients and not just how something smells. But it's always interesting. I think the first thing anyone does when they're looking at skincare products is open up the jar and see what it smells like. So just because something smells good doesn't mean it's good for your skin. And actually, I open it up, and if I smell something floral or anything, I'm like, nope, go on to the next one. I don't want anything that has any scent or anything like that in there. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting juxtaposition with the Murad. So anyway, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. So also, if you're not already, feel free to subscribe. I come out with at least one new review every day. And also check out nobsbeauty.net. I'm adding new content to it daily. Thank you so much, guys.